Uh, yeah, two parts to this thing. Obviously, there's just what's hanging over our heads, which is beating the Galaxy. So, uh, when you don't do it, then there's a part to it that still stings, and it'll continue to hang over our heads. But what goes with that is the part of continuing to grow as a team. And I still think that the package of things it takes to be a great team, most are going in the right direction. And the last part is still this understanding of in the biggest games with the emotion and everything, how to still make sure that you try to win, but you don't do it in a crazy way. And so I thought we started the game. Everybody wants to win so bad, but my God, we were forcing passes, jamming plays, anxious to try to recover the ball when it was too far away. So, it was just, like again, the feeling of here we go and we want to beat them, and yet doing it in a way that's still not solid enough, not experienced enough. And so that's one of our steps, though. Response in the second half was great. Created a bunch of chances. Still, the fourth one was there for us, but it didn't happen tonight. Carlos, hamstring tweak. Won't know for sure. I don't think it's a real bad one. Knock wood. Okay. But we weren't taking any chances. Obviously, he's a huge competitor, so he's not too happy when he comes off. But we're not going to put him in further, take a bigger risk and leave him out there when we know by the reaction that he's now felt a little something. So that's how that decision was made. Good questions.
Bob, right here. Can you just talk a little bit more about, in addition to what you and Carlos talked about when he came off, also how Brian was then when he came on and sort of what happened there?
No, Brian was good. Come on. You got to see that. He was confident. He went right at Felcher on a couple of plays right from the beginning. It still takes a little bit more to get him totally in sync with people and some of the ideas when he comes inside and whatnot, but that was really good. And look, the conversation with Carlos is what you'd expect. It's like, no, I wanted to stay on. I said, yes, I know. So I made the decision because I think tonight it's the best one for us. So that's it.
What's kind of the next step here? Do you guys MRI him or what happens here?
Tomorrow.
Okay. How do you kind of anticipate also kind of handling him in training over the coming week, regardless?
Depends how bad it is. We have a great performance staff, great medical staff. We see how it feels. I mean, look, Carlos, in just over a year and a half or whatever, every now and then he'll feel a little something that's tight and hasn't ended up being anything bad yet. So hopefully that's the case.
Bob, you just touch on a little bit there, but can you just go a little bit deeper on what you saw a bit bad and ugly from Rodriguez's 29 minutes out there?
No, I don't think there's any ugly. He gets balls. He's confident to take people on. He cut inside to shoot. He beat the defender to the left to get some balls across. For someone who's just coming into a team, I think those are all really positive. When we work with wide attacking players, the timing, you want them getting some balls to feet to take guys on. You want them also finding ways to be on the move so they're getting in towards goal. We ask certain things of them defensively so that when we start to defend, they, as a group of three, start to defend. That sets us up to try to win balls. So there's things that just go hand in hand with how we play that take more time. So far, he seems to pick up ideas really well. I think he's impressed everybody that he's a good guy. So.
Sports Guy David from the Fantasy Sports Gate. First half, the defense was not what you expect, but what changed in the half? The momentum. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, but when you say things like the defense, it's defending starts when you lose the ball. So defending starts with how you lose the ball. And so in certain moments, I think the first goal starts where Mark Anthony starts to move forward with the ball. Obviously, we've seen him many times find a way to continue and create an angle for a pass. He goes down. There's no call. I think reactions were slow when we then needed to defend at the edge of the box when Pavone cut inside. The understanding of, I think in that case for Eddie Segura, should he run with Zlatan or should he hold the line? And so I think the decision is a little bit late. And then Jordan is maybe just a step behind as well. So look, these are small details. If but it starts where you lose the ball. Okay. The second goal is, this is a crazy rule, but it's a correct call. And look, I'd need to see the replay, but I think it's offside. Only Walker makes a play on the ball. He jumps and it skims off the top of his head, and they say, and the rule is that if a defender makes a play on the ball, so it's no longer that at the moment that the pass is made is the player in an offside position. Okay? If you don't touch it and it goes straight to the attacker, then they will judge whether at the moment the ball was played, he's offside. But if a defender tries to make a play on the ball, even if you jump as high as you can, Walker's a pretty big guy, tries to win the header and clear it. If it skims off the top of his head and continues, that's considered a play on the ball. And then even if you're in an offside position, then that play continues. So that's one of these moments where, but I would still say that in that stretch of the game, we forced too many plays. The ability to find the right passes, to play from inside outside, and then find ways to come back inside. If the guy on the ball takes too long, and then even if the window's not there, just fires a ball into a tight spot, not only will you lose it, but you'll lose it in a way that you'll pay a price going the other way, because it's impossible to in any way react and counter press those kind of turnovers. So, I thought we had some moments where, like I said, we were anxious to do the things that we want to do all the time. But man, we did them in such a, like we were so eager to make those things happen that we forced plays and played right into their way. What did they want to do? They wanted to use the midfield numbers, and then when certain plays came, to see if they could produce some turnover there and then quickly go in the counter. It's a normal thing. They have good attacking players. So if you turn balls over in those spots, and Pavone is on the move, and Antuna is on the move, and Fabio Alvarez is on the move, and Zlatan is still positioning himself to be part of the play, whether it's to make a pass or just to be the guy at the end of it. If you lose those kind of balls, then yes, you can't defend that. You already put yourself in a terrible position because you've forced plays and played into their hands. So I thought we did that early on. We, like I said, 1-1. We give up the early goal. We get back to 1-1. Very quickly, there's this play with Walker, and then we kind of lose our way. And then we were able to fight our way back to get it to 3-2. And then we speak about it, and then I thought the second half was better. If you compared the first half to the second half, a lot of guys played well in the second half. Right? Not many guys played well in the first half. So yeah, we did it to ourselves. And like I mentioned, they have an ability then in those moments to make you pay. So that's what we have to learn. That's what I meant when I said at the beginning. That's the next step for us to become a really good team. That yes, over 90 minutes we can get control. We can do the things we always do, but we can't be so anxious to make all of it happen right from the start of the game that the next thing you know, we're leaving ourselves wide open. So, yeah, we got to look hard at that, talk more about it, and continue to work to become a team that knows how to handle those moments in the game.
Bob, looking at the stat sheet, the one thing that jumps out to me is the duels. You basically reversed them from the first half to the second half. You lost 2/3 of them in the first half, won 2/3.
What is a duel, by the way, when you look at that sheet?
That's like a ball one-on-one challenge with balls.
I'm glad you know, because I don't know what they count as.
I'm guessing.
Not duels.
So, do you attribute anything to that? Does that signify anything to you? What does that mean?
Look, I see moments when our reactions are slow. I see moments where our footwork is bad. So if those things end up as being lost duels, okay, then yes, then I see it. if they're not lost duels and duels are just like headers off of throw-ins and shit like that, then no, I'm at a fucking loss. So I'm sorry. So, you know, I mean, we've got all these brilliant things, but you know, yes, you got to win more duels. Look, you got to make more plays in the game. I don't think early in the game we made plays. Okay, when balls turn over, when you try to play. I say it all the time. We try to be a team that goes forward. We try to create things. So that also means that there's moments where defensively, we have to deal with certain situations. You either deal with them really well around the ball, okay? And if you don't deal with it really well around the ball, then now the play starts to come forward for the other team, and then you have to be able to make plays in transition. Sometimes I call them 9-1-1 plays. You don't want to get put in that spot all the time, all right? Early in the game, we didn't make any plays. You know, I think Tyler's got to make a save for us early in the game. That would be big. I think, you know, again, there was a play where I think I mentioned Pavone started dribbling, and we moved two guys over, and he's a clever dribbler. He's talented. So he ducks his shoulder, and then he splits the two guys, and two guys are finished. So in that moment, we don't want those guys to necessarily think they have to win the ball, but they have to be able to control that moment. So when I talk about defending, we talk about all these kind of things, not they were more duels. I don't know what a duel is.
Hey, Bob. Great game, very enjoyable. I think that people definitely do forget how young this team is because it feels so established, and the atmosphere feels really established. But when I was watching it today, I thought, like, as you said, the desire was there, but also the nerves. So I was wondering if you could speak on a few things, like, you know, Miller's performance. I think it was 4 shots, 3 goals. Also, you know, just thinking about the next time you play Galaxy and when you're going to have to face somebody like Alvarez. I think it was like 2 chips from Alvarez that led to the Zlatan goal and the Pavon goal. And what adjustments tactically, but also just in terms of mentality or you know, general things like that to help the players play the best that they can.
Again, I would need to go back. So when Alvarez chips a ball over the top, I would need to. You know, I'm pretty good at remembering details right after the game, but some of those things, then I go back and look at to say, for example, how did we lose the ball? Okay, and then if the ball comes quickly to Alvarez, is it a situation where your defenders need to drop quickly, or can we step? So there's just. These are split-second decisions, and so we work to get better at all these things. You mentioned nerves. Yeah, I think when I say that we wanted to, that idea that's hanging over our head that we haven't beaten them yet. Yeah, I think young team, and now they're so excited to get that done tonight. That yeah, when it comes time to just decision-making. Early on, I think we made a bunch of bad decisions, both in terms of where we pass the ball, how many touches we take, whether we should try to win the ball, whether we should control the play. So those are things we work on all the time. We like the football that we play, and we think we're a good team. And to build something that's really going to stand up over time, you're going to have. Not everything's coming easy. So, clearly, this idea of beating the Galaxy so far, yeah, that hasn't come easy. But it hasn't stopped us from continuing to grow as a team, continue to try to improve, continue to build on our ideas. We said from the beginning, that's what we're going to be about. And I told all these guys last year that this is how we're going to play football. And if by chance we lose a game or 2 games and everybody's saying, what are we going to do? We're going to say we're going to keep the same things we've been working on. We're going to keep working on until they get better. So we're not coming in with a new plan and tell you to throw the first one out the window. So we love the football we play. Like I said, I think we're on a path to become a really good team. The last time we lost to them, we won 5 games in a row. We have 7 games left. The idea is to win 7 games. We're going to the playoffs and know that every game is going to also be hard and go from there. So that's where we are.
Hi Bob, Tom Marshall, ESPN FC. Obviously frustrating result in the end for yourselves, but I think for the neutral, again, these 2 teams come together and, you know, everybody's watching, everyone's talking about it. And I think there's quite a few people that would like to see this matchup in the playoffs as well. Is that something that you'd like to see? You'd like to meet the Galaxy in the postseason?
Sure, it's a big game whenever you play. Look, we tried to take control of the game. They respond. I watch them a lot of games. I think they raise their level against us. I think they're a team that, when one team's trying to take the game to them, obviously the kind of players that they have, then they are able to, then at times, be dangerous in counter situations. So the matchup is good in those ways. It's good because it's two teams in LA, two different fan bases. But honestly, two different ideas. Okay, I mean, I'm not providing all the answers, but if you look at them and what they're about and how they play, okay, and then you look at how we play and where our players come from and everything else. There's two very different identities there. Okay, so instead of writing about duels, you can actually look at the football that gets played by two teams. Look at the players that are on the field. Look at the styles. Look at everything that goes into it, and then go from there. I much prefer discussions like that about football. So, like I keep saying, I say it every game, even when I'm pissed. I come in and say, "Listen, we try to play a certain way. We believe in it. We think that we're on the right path, and we're going to keep going." And so tonight, got a little bit crazy at times. Once again, we didn't control the game the way the best teams control the game. Right? The best teams, man, they know when to go forward, and they know when to slow it down, and they know when to connect passes, and they know how to control transition, and but we're not quite there yet. So good. One more, or is that it? Yes, that's what I was told. Okay, and by the way, that's also what I said to him earlier when he asked me. Okay, so good.